everybody. So we're going to be starting in about 1 minute, but the reason why I'm holding a box of tissues is because I'd highly recommend that you blow your nose. I know it's weird. Blow your nose before class because we're going to be starting out with Kapalabhati Breath. So that's going to really tune into the breath of fire, strengthening the inner core, and really work on finding a little bit more of that harmony and balance in the digestive tract. So yeah, please blow your nose before class. And then the music I'm using today is an indie mix. Beats per minute is 115, so feel free if you want to get that ready in the background. Hopefully you're around a place where there's not a lot of distractions. You're able to put your phone down. This is a 45-minute class. Like I said last week, we're going to be focusing on strengthening the core, but we're going to be slowly working up through scaffolding to get into some balancing poses, okay? So we're going to be starting in a kneeling position on the mat. And if this is uncomfortable, you can of course come into a comfortable seated pose. If you have blocks, you could take blocks underneath your hips if the knees are quite high. The idea in a seated meditative-like posture is that you always want to keep your spinal cord upright. If there's any kind of rounding, the naughty energy can't really circulate, and you won't get the most out of the certain breathing methods and techniques. So do your best. You can even lean up against the wall for this. And then you're just going to start with the eyes closed, planting the palms down on the thighs. And we're going to give ourselves about a minute here, just in case anybody else comes and tunes in a little bit late. And you're just using this time to tune in. Just giving yourself the permission to really practice presence, stillness, and whenever that monkey mind wanders, you're acknowledging it. You could just continue to let that thought pattern go, and then just bring yourself back to the simplicity of your breath. If you're more kinesthetic, you're just focusing on the inhale and exhale as it comes in through the nose, fills the belly, side lungs, and upper chest. Holding for a moment before you exhale the same way. If you're a different type of learner, just adjust and tailor out what you can do so it keeps you in the moment. If you need instruction, try counting your breath. Inhaling for a count of 4 to 5. And exhale for the same amount of time. And just through this stillness and mindfulness, naturally, organically, your body will start to tune into that. You'll start to relax your shoulders. The posture will become upright. You might notice specific areas in the body that's holding more tension. Without judgment or labeling, just become aware of that. We've got about 5 more mindful breaths before we begin our Kapalabhati breathing technique. Gently begin to blink the eyes open. Take 3 shoulder rolls, reaching the shoulders forward and up. Inhale. Back and down out of the mouth. Exhale. In through the nose. Out of the mouth. Good. One more time. Reaching the right palm to the side, reaching the left arm overhead, and then slowly side stretch. Just for a few breaths. Good. Coming up to center, slowly reach the right arm up, and then exhale, switching sides. Coming back up to center, reaching the arms overhead, coming into a child's pose, reaching those palms down toward the mat, forehead comes to touch. You're here for about 30 seconds. I'm just going to quickly check the streaming because something's going on. So just take a few breaths in that child's pose. Good, you're there for a couple more breaths. I really hope this is working and you guys aren't getting any kind of lagging on your end. All the joys of technology. We'll check it a little bit later. When you're ready with helping hands, just bring yourself back up to that seated position. And then coming into your Kapalabhati breath. Taking a slow breath in through the nose, you're going to take a sharp exhale out of the nose, and you're going to exhale on my clap, okay? So when you're ready, inhale, exhale to begin. Keep going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Exhale all of the breath out of the body now. Hold nothingness. Bringing your head up on an inhale. Out of the mouth. Preparing for second set. Taking an inhale through the nose. And then exhale on the clap. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Exhale everything on one. Squeeze out the breath. Hold in nothingness. Drop the chin. Engagement down through Mula Bandha. So that's squeezing the anus, the lower belly, and the front line glute. Bringing your head up on your next inhale. Out of the mouth. Final set. Okay, 30 seconds. Taking an inhale. Exhale on the clap. Going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Exhale on one. Squeeze that air out of the body so you have nothingness in the body. Drop the chin to the chest. Engagement through that Mula Bandha. Jalandhar Bandha is just pulling that chin back toward the collarbone area so you feel a lock in through the neck area. Try to really pop up through the chest here, but keep holding your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2. Head up, inhale. Out of the mouth. Good. Coming back into a child's pose momentarily. I'm just going to bring my laptop down here so if anything does go wrong tech-wise, I can try to fix it right away. So 2 breaths in that child's pose. Good job. Slowly bring yourself back into your tabletop and just find some freestyle movements here, okay? So swaying the shoulders and the hips from side to side, coming into a few cat-cows, just a quick baseline move. Get the body and the blood circulating throughout. Okay, and on your next 2 breaths, you're going to start to explore that down dog stretch. So walking out through your feet when the hips spike. Nice open through the chest, pulsing that upper chest toward your thigh bones here for a few more breaths. Really getting that back line tricep release, wiggling the hips, really just letting go here. Good, walking the big toes together to touch. Inhale the right leg up toward the ceiling. Take about 2 breaths, stacking your hips if you choose. Squeezing the right glute now, take that right leg higher. And then taking the right foot between the palms, deep runner's lunge. Okay, we're going to continue just a nice easy baseline stretch here. So it's an easier flow. We're not going to be doing too much vinyasa, so feel free if you feel like you're getting aggressive or you're feeling that anger spell come up, then flush it out through a few vinyasas and then join us when you're ready, okay? Otherwise, you're coming into your deep runner's lunge, knee to heel alignment. Tuck that tailbone so you're pulling the belly in so you're not falling into the lower back. And then take the arms up to the ceiling. Soften through the front toes here. Breathing into the front line of your chest. Continue lengthening up through the crown of the head. Taking the palms down toward the mat. This time today, you're going to lift up through that back left knee. You're going to slide the right foot back a little bit. And then you're just going to come up into a single leg balance. So nice and easy, nothing crazy to start. Your left leg is floating off of the mat. Strengthening through that quadricep if we need to warm up. Let's come into a few curtsies. So slight bend to the right knee, back left shin touches the calf, and then inhale, find that left leg extension, reaching back up toward the ceiling. Taking a few more of these pulsing like curtsies. Hopefully if there's blocks there or if there's a chair and you need it, you can always rest the palms on. Good, taking one more. And then keep that left leg reaching the best that you can. Remember, you're not warmed up, so don't have a high expectation. But coming into a nice slow set standing splits. So left leg is reaching as high as it can go today. Stacking the left hip on top of the right. And then you should feel that nice deep opening in through the entire right side leg. More probably in the inner than the out. Taking a few breaths here, really lengthening the chest, reaching it toward the shin bone. Keep the crown of the head parallel to the ground. Taking one more breath. Big toes touch. Flat back, inhale. Forward fold, good. Exhale. Stand up, inhale, reach the arms up toward the ceiling, squeeze your glutes, palms to prayer, exhale, hinging from the hips at the same time, forward fold. Palms to the shins, flat back, inhale, option high plank to low vinyasa or skip it and come into a down dog. You're in your downward dog for a few breaths. Wiggling out through the shoulders here, walking the big toes together to touch. And let's reach the left leg now up toward the ceiling. Stacking your hips, squeezing the glute. Keep your shoulders square as best as you can. Remember, the quality of your stretch is depicted on the quality of your breath. Deep runner's lunge, let's step that foot forward between the palms, dropping the back knee down, and then slowly when you're ready, bring yourself into an upright position. Find that alignment again where you're tucking the tailbone, feeling that opening through the front line of the quad, and then holding an upright position. Your palms can be wherever they feel comfortable. But then finding your drishti point and just continuing to practice stillness, mindfulness throughout the practice. So if that mind is starting to list some of the things you need to do, or if you're writing and doing work at the same time, try not to. Let's try to do one thing at a time today. Just a couple more breaths. Lifting up through the heart palate, 2 more. Good job. Taking the palms down toward the floor. Lift up the right kneecap for a moment. Slide the left foot down, back just by an inch, and then starting to come up to balance on your left leg. Reaching those fingertips forward, trying to lengthen out through the spine on an inhale. Exhale, micro bend through the right knee, left knee, getting into that curtsy set, and then inhale to straighten both legs. Continue here with a pulsing light breath. Curtsy down, strengthening out through that quadricep. At the same time, we've been working on stretching the legs just to prepare our practice, getting into a little bit of core stretches coming up next before we come into some of those balancing poses. Okay, taking 2 more curtsies. Last one. Nice job. Slowly come into the best standing splits that you can. No judgment on your mat. Not competing with anybody, just do the best that you can, okay? Taking about 3 more breaths here. Keep the head heavy, acting as a weight to bring the rest of the upper body down, and then the right leg with practice will slowly start to reach up. Without gripping the toes, 1 more breath. Big toes come to touch. Flat back, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Stand it up, inhale. Palms to prayer, exhale, hinging from those hips like you did previously. Flat back again, inhale. Option, high plank to low or skip it and come into a down dog direct. And then walking out through your feet, shaking out the head, pulsing that heart toward the back. Taking 2 breaths in this downward dog. Okay, bending at the knees, look to the middle of your mat. You're going to come into a seated pose with or without a prop. You're coming into a balancing Navasana. So lift up the hips a few times, moving the flesh and the muscle out of the way. Whatever kind of prop that you have, you're going to be placing it on your shins. First, start to lean your upper body back. You're welcome to hold that prop in front of you, acting as a balancing structure. Or you could place that block right on the shin line and then reach the arms out to the side. At any point in time, you can hold on to the backs of your thighs. Flexing those feet, so you have monkey toes, those feet, finger feet, you guys know what I mean, toes, oh my gosh, are spreading open nice and wide. Taking 2 more breaths. Take the prop, heels down, shoulders up. Out of the mouth. 1 more, shoulders up. Second set. Make sure you're in the middle of the mat because we're going to slowly lower down onto the back. Get yourself set up. Now remember, you want your spine to be quite upright. The angle is going to be your challenge. The further you go back, the more you're engaging through your core. Okay, with or without arms. 2 more breaths. Keep the block or prop on your shins. Slowly start to lower down onto the back. You're going to bend the knees close to the body, grab a hold of the prop, and then extend the arms and the legs away from each other, bending at the knees, planting the prop back on, and then do the same thing. Getting into a little bit of that tailbone rock here, strengthening the lower abdominals. Your main option is cutting your range of motion, or don't use a prop. Let's take about 3 more. 2. Just 1 more. Go for your full range. Hugging the knees into the chest, rock it out from side to side. You can keep the prop where it is. Reach the arms with the prop above the head. Slight rock coming into a seated pose. Bring yourself back. Good. Plant the heels. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twisting to one side. In through the nose, reach. Switching sides, exhale. Speed it up. So keeping that Ujjayi-like breath. AH out of the nose. You've got 5 more. 4, we're going to double up with an SH on the next exhale. Good job. Squeezing the core. Going double speed with an exhale out of the mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, Navasana boat pose on 1. Let's put that block to the side. Just body weight. You can hold on to the backs of the thighs. You could be alternating heels if it's too much or if it's too intense. or keep both heels grounded and just hold your angle. You're here for 3, 2, sit it up, shoulders up, inhale. Out of the mouth, coming forward, classic plank position. So you're coming into a plank pose, but with the forearms grounded, reaching the legs back, and then try to keep the hips the same height as the shoulders. From here, tuck the tailbone, engage your core, lengthening through the chest palate. Try to keep your shoulder scapula down. You can always widen the stance to the feet if you need a little bit more support, or drop down onto the knees at any point in time. 15 seconds to go. Our goal is to try to get that lower back as best as we can parallel to the ceiling. You're here for just a few more breaths. Good. Lower down onto the knees, all the way down onto the belly. Sphinx pose, reaching those palms forward. Automatically start to squeeze the back glutes, lengthening through the chest. Take 2 breaths. And let's turn this into a baby cobra. Do your best to hold your body height as you start to lift up through those feet, hovering the shins, and then plant the palms momentarily where the elbows were, but then float the palms. So really squeezing the muscles of your lower back to find your height. Sphinx pose, slide those palms forward, elbows placed down. Keep reaching your chest forward like the forearms are suction cupped onto the ground, and you're creating length in through your lumbar spine. We're going to do that one more time. Squeeze your glutes, float the toes, shins and knees. Your challenge is to maintain your height as you start to float your palms. Lifting up the elbows nice and high, continue to reach the chest forward, squeeze the glute plane. Sphinx pose, coming back, 2 breaths. While we're here, let's sway the head from side to side. Good job, nod the head up and down. Planting the palms where the elbows were, full upward dog, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Few breaths in this downward dog, enjoy the stretch. Good, bending at the knees, look to the middle of your mat, tiptoe the feet there, and then walk your palms to meet your feet. Deep set forward fold. You can hold on to opposite elbows. You're welcome to hold on to the backs of your calves. And then just work on really lengthening through the back. Crown of the head is parallel to the ground. Back of the legs are straight and long. 2 more breaths. Bend the knees, start to roll up your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. When you do find your stand, let's inhale the arms above the head. Exhale the palms to prayer, stay standing. Taking your right palm on your right hip, left arm up. It might be different on the screen, but you guys are leaning to the right. The main reason is I just want to ensure that your body's getting aided in digestion and you don't get any kind of cramping if you go the opposite way. Bring your body back up to center. Good. Switch. Your right arm comes up, leaning to your left side. 2 breaths. Okay, let's have fun with this next stretch. We're going to gently come into a Garudasana Eagle, so your feet are at hips width. You're going to reach the arms overhead, taking the right arm underneath the left. You could find a bind if it's there. Hold on to your shoulders. Take the weight onto your left leg, right ankle comes up on the quad. If this is enough, you're staying here. If it's there, cross the right leg all the way, finding a bind. And then try to be mindful of pulling that right kneecap back towards center line. Going a little bit deeper into that chair-like position and really squeezing through the inner thighs and the arms. The idea here is to purposely cut and to restrict blood flow. 2 more breaths. Good, and change, arms up. Left arm underneath the right. Finding the same thing on the other side, slight bend to the knees, weight onto toward the right leg. Taking that left ankle either in your figure 4 stretch or your full bind. Once again, find your corrections, pulling the knees a little bit more toward midline, squeezing at the inner thighs and the arms. Feel that tailbone tuck as you go a little bit deeper. 2 more breaths. Good. Inhale, arms up. We're going to do something different. Exhale, take the right arm again underneath the right. Sorry, right arm underneath the left. Unless you have 2 right arms. Bending at the knees, take the weight onto your left leg. Inhale the right foot in figure 4. So we're going to stay in this figure 4 stretch. And we're going to slowly start to add on. You're going to hinge the upper body forward now. And then slowly start to bend the knees. Now option 1, stay here. Option 2, unbind and plant those palms onto the ground. Advanced students, you can come into your flying pigeon. For the rest of you, you could just hold here and work your way up into one day, planting your palm shoulders width, taking your right knee toward the right armpit, left foot wraps around the left tricep, and then as you bend the elbows, you create a shelf. In time, you'll be able to try to reach that left leg out. So wherever you are, 2 more breaths. The same way you came in, slowly start to come out. No graceful way, right? Inhale the arms up. Palms to prayer first. Exhale. Let's let that go first. Shoulders up, inhale. Out of the mouth. Good, 1 more. Shoulders up. Palms to your lower back. Let's get into a slight back bend, releasing and lengthening before we switch. Soften through your toes. Bring yourself upright. Let's inhale the arms up. Left arm underneath the right. Slowly take the weight onto the right foot. Figure 4 stretch. And then slowly start to hinge from the hips. Just like you're doing a deadlift, okay? Nothing changes in through those hips. You could stay here with your balance. You can take those palms down onto the floor for stage 2. Or stage 3 is planting those palms, coming into that flying pigeon. So remember that shelf, once it's created, it's a lot easier than it looks. You take that kneecap into the armpit, right, left toes wrap around the right tricep. And you can just start by lifting up the back toe a little bit, finding and getting, trusting your body with that weight shift before you try to lift. So wherever you are, 2 more breaths. Very slowly, the way you came in, gently come out. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, palms to prayer. Inhale the arms up again. Look up, lean back, forward fold, hinging from those hips. Exhale. Palms to the shins, flat back, inhale. High plank pose, planting those palms, stepping those feet back, holding for 8, 7, 6, 5. We're going to strengthen through the muscles of the back, and then we're going to finish up with 1 more balancing pose coming up in about 5 minutes. Let's start to lower down onto your belly all the way, high plank to low. Chin grounds down onto the mat. Squeeze your glutes again. And then reach the arms to the sides of your mat. Squeezing the muscles of your upper back to lift up head, shoulders, chest. Start to float through those toes, shins, knees. And then lifting up through those palms next. Inhale, find height. Let's play. Exhale, slowly lower down, hover. Inhale, squeeze to lift, lift, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Inhale, squeeze to lift higher. Exhale, hover the limbs off of the mat. Last time, inhale. Exhale, touch down, chin to the mat. We're going to keep reaching the neckline forward so we can really get into that thymus gland. Closing the eyes, taking about 5 resetting breaths. Good. Slowly start to blink the eyes open. Float the chin, shoulders, chest, back feet off of the mat. Flying plane, flying bird, whatever it is you want to call it today, you're just holding here for 5, 4, 3. Start to bend the elbows, tuck the toes, plant the palms, push yourself up. Down dog stretch, exhale. Walking out through your feet. Walk the big toes together. 2 breaths. Palms stay shoulders width. Keep lengthening through that chest palate. Good. Let's inhale the right leg up to the ceiling, just like you did in that beginning set standing split, stacking your hips. Again into your deep runner's lunge. Exhale. We're going to just find a little bit of an alignment set with a twist. Right arm comes up toward the ceiling on an inhale. Set the shoulder scapula down. Exhale, twist, twist, twist. Pulling your lower belly in. Left palm is right underneath your shoulder. Taking 1 more breath. Good. Planting the right palm down. Lifting up through the left kneecap. High crescent. Reach the arms up to the ceiling, keeping the back left leg rotation so the kneecap is facing the ground. Open up through the right toes. You can stay here. You could drop down the back knee if it becomes too much. Or hinge the upper body forward, coming into your balancing stick. Basically a warrior 3. Try to keep that left kneecap facing the ground here, creating a capital T with the side of your body. You're here for 2 more breaths. High crescent, coming back, inhale. Exhale, palms toward the ground. High plank pose. Option, take a vinyasa. Down dog or child's pose. If you do stop every once in a while to grab some water, just make sure that you're taking sips at a time so you don't get any kind of cramping. 3 breaths in down dog. You can walk out those feet again. Stay fluid, okay? Shake out the head. Keep your body very open and flexible. Try not to overthink it. Otherwise, it's going to reflect in your body through stiffness. Big toes coming together to touch. Let's inhale your left leg up to the ceiling for a few breaths. Getting into that nice IT band release. Keep that engagement point in through the back body, the left glute. Good. Inhale. Deep runner's lunge, taking that foot forward, planting your right palm, and then inhale the left arm up toward the ceiling. Exhale, twisting open through and toward the inner left thigh. Inhale, lengthen up through the chest palate, and then exhale, twist. Keeping that front knee to heel alignment. 2 more breaths. Good. Planting your left palm down for a moment. High crescent. You're going to lift up through that back kneecap and then bring your body upright. Feel that tailbone tuck. You really want to feel that opening through the right side quad, maybe even through the groin. Continue to go a little bit deeper into your set while you engage in through Mula Bandh. You could stay there or hinging the upper body forward, pressing off of the right toe, coming up to balance. Keeping that internal rotation through that right kneecap, do the best that you can. 3 more breaths, squeezing the glute, get that capital T shape. Just as you came in, slowly come out, touch down, inhale, palms to the ground. High plank pose, option vinyasa, or down dog. Walking out through your feet a little bit, sway out through those hips, pulsing the upper body. Good, taking one more breath. Perfect. Bending the knees, looking to the top of the mat. Walk or tiptoe the feet up. Palms to the shins, flat back, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Stand up, inhale, reach the arms overhead. Palms to prayer, stay standing, exhale. Palms to your lower back now. Take the eyes up to the ceiling, feet are at hips width. Just getting into a nice release stretch. So the final balancing pose we're going to do is our baby tree. If you need a wall or if you need some support, feel free to reach out for it now. But you're just going to step toward the back of your mat. I'm going to face this way actually. And you're going to take the weight onto your left leg, strong standing left leg, open up through the right knee. You could always take the heel, resting it on the ankle if this is where you're at today, or to the calf. If that's okay, bypass the knee, take it toward the inner thigh. If this is comfortable, you could stay here, challenging yourself by looking up with the arms opening. Baby tree is taking the foot flat toward the ceiling, parallel, tucking it in toward the crease of the left inner thigh and growing, and then holding here. Hinging from the hips just like you did throughout the practice today. The body should be a little bit more warmed up. This is like our peak pose. Maybe you stay there, maybe you could bend at the knee. Finding your focus point. And then the final part is trying to bring your palms up to prayer. If you fall out, be playful. Don't take it too seriously. You've got about 5 more breaths. Two more. Reaching those hips back up toward the ceiling and then taking your time to slowly bring yourself back to a stand and then release the right leg. Circle out through that ankle. Good, circle out through the opposite ankle now. 3 sun breaths, bounce to the knees, arms up. Palms to prayer out of the mouth. 2 more. Good, one more side and then we're going to start to cool down. Bring the weight on toward the right leg. Tuck the tailbone, find your length. Stage 1, 2, or maybe 3. You could stay here if you're comfortable or come in toward that baby tree. Flat foot parallel to the ceiling. Have an intention to reach that left kneecap down to help anchor it into place. And then maybe hinging from the hips. You keep those palms grounded right here if this is enough. Both sides of the body will be different. Maybe this side's a little bit stronger. As you bring your palms to prayer, you could find your balance in baby tree. Or if you fall out a little bit, just like a playful child on a playground, let yourself explore. You've got about 3 more breaths here, wherever you are. And then very slowly start to bring yourself up and out. And gently release, and again circle out through that left leg. Switching sides, circle out through the right. Good. Palms toward the lower back, coming toward the top of the mat. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Exhale, hips forward, body back. 2 breaths, slight squeeze through your glutes. Good, shoulders up, right on top of the hips. Let's come through one vinyasa. Inhale the arms up. Forward fold, exhale. Palms to the shins, flat back, inhale. High plank pose, inhale. Exhale, lower down halfway. Upward dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale, 2 breaths. If that felt really good, take about 5 more half vinyasas. So inhale, high plank, exhale, lower. Take a few more of those if you'd like to flush. Otherwise, you're staying in that down dog stretch. Starting to let go of your practice. Perhaps even coming into a child's pose if you need something more passive. Bending at the knees, slowly rocking yourself into a seated position. If you'd like to put on some socks, feel free to. You're just going to lower down onto the back slowly. Hug the knees into the chest, and then closing the eyes. You could stay here or rock from side to side, maybe coming into a happy baby, if that helps. You're welcome to conclude your practice before final Shavasana in maybe a dead bug pose, where the arms and legs reach up to the ceiling, really good to help drain the blood flow, helping with varicose veins and spider veins. Also for the heart to work a little bit less. Or maybe finish up in a spinal twist of your choice. We've got about a minute here before our final Shavasana. If you've got some music on in the background, you could slowly start to, lower down the volume, or if it's still a good mix, then you could keep it. Hopefully it's nothing too energetic, so you can truly relax in final Shavasana. Good, 2 more breaths here, slowly starting to touch down in your final pose. Creating a starfish, reaching the limbs away from the trunk of the body. Or the palms can come onto the heart and the belly to help release the work that you've done. And you're here for a few minutes. Taking a slow breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. If that felt good, you can do it again. Keeping the eyes closed, try to keep your body still. For the next little bit of time, let yourself recalibrate and reset. I will bring you back when it's time. And slowly start to bring awareness back into your body by wiggling your fingertips and your toes. Circling out through your ankles and the wrists. Today we're going to close our practice either as you are or just in fetal pose. So if you're ready to come out, just roll to the right side of the body, stay there, keeping the eyes closed and just breathing full body breaths. Thanking yourself for showing up, for remaining disciplined and persistent. Namaste, everybody. Thank you for the tech glitch, for staying on and being patient. I will see you guys next week.